So we just wrapped up an episode of TNA. I'm sorry, not TNA. We just wrapped up an episode of NXT, and there's some good in this episode. There's some bad. There's some ugly, and there's some disappointing. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. First of all, we had Ethan Page versus Ricky, and great fight overall. They looked pretty winded, especially Ricky. Towards the end of the fight, right before the end, he looked exhausted. Like as if that fight would have gone for 2 to 3 more minutes, he would have just passed out. He looked extremely exhausted. And so it's only right that Ethan Page took the W. And honestly, at this point, I think Ethan Page really deserved it. His promos are amazing. He carries himself like a champion. I mean, I just think it's really cool to see. I think also with Ricky, just getting to NXT a few months ago, I think it was only right that they gave him the title to kind of kick things off with the rivalry between him and Ethan Page. And so it was really cool to see Ethan Page get the title back and be the champion again. Now, a little bit later in the show, we had a few luchadors come out, Ray Phoenix and the Laredo Kid, I think if I'm pronouncing that right. We also had Javon come out, and they're going to have a fatal four-way here pretty soon at Worlds Collide. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure what day that comes on, or what channel that comes on, or how to even watch that. But I know there's going to be a great fight. In my opinion, though, I think because WWE is kind of predictable, and with them just sending Trick to TNA, basically, I think they might do the same um, for the Laredo Kid. They might give him the win to send him to NXT. But then again, you don't really know because Javon I think deserves a title shot as well, and so he could win it. It honestly it's gonna be unpredictable. It's gonna be a really high flying match with these guys. Um, but honestly, I'm excited to see it. I probably won't watch it live or anything like that, but I probably will catch the highlights and check that out. After that, we had Trick Williams come out and say a few things to Mike Santana, uh, which was pretty cool. I think Trick also deserves the championship as well. I think that the rivalry between him and Oba and Javon ended too abruptly. However, with him as a TNA champion, I think it's really cool because Trick needs to be in the ring. Most importantly, I think there was a while there where he kind of got away from the ring and he was doing a lot more talking, and so I think it's really cool to see him back fighting. Um, and Santiago, I think his name's Santiago, the director for TNA. I could be saying his name wrong, but he came out and basically was like, "You're going to be a fighting champion," and I think that that's kind of what WWE has really gotten away from, is having the champions fight more often. A lot of times we have the champions just kind of sitting back, signing autographs, kissing babies, but they don't actually fight. And so I think it's really cool that he's pretty straight up and he's like, "Look, you're defending the title this week. I know you had the title, but this isn't just for show and tell." And so he's gonna be up against Mike Santana. I think he'll, successfully defend it. However, it's cool to just see him in the ring again. If he does lose, I'd like to see him go back to Oba and try to win the title here at NXT. The next weird thing, and this is kind of where it gets ugly and bad, the fight with Jada Parker. That had to be the worst ending of a match I think I've ever seen in my entire life. That was crazy. Just even from the toys, going to the steps, picking up the toy, throwing it to the other side of the ring. The girl goes, I don't even know the other lady's name, but she goes and picks up the toy and looks at it as if maybe there's some backstory there that I'm missing. I don't know, but it was stupid in my opinion. So stupid. And then she picks up the toys. She's looking at the toys, and then she gets booty bumped and loses. I know that the booty bump or whatever is supposed to be Jada's finisher, but that has to be the worst finisher of all time. I mean, at least top five. Like it has to be top five finishers, top five worst finishers of all time. Has to be. Oh my god, a booty bump. What in the world? That I don't even want to. I'm gonna get pissed thinking about that match. Let's move on. We also had Jasper Troy debuted as well, which I thought was great. I thought that he did an amazing job, fantastic job. I do. If I was to critique anything from that fight, I would say that I wish he would just slow down just a little bit. Uh, I thought the entrance, I thought the music was awesome. I thought the theme was awesome. I think that he just kind of moves too fast. Like if he would just slow down just a little bit on the way to the ring instead of like it seems like he's just in a rush. Um, and it could be nerves, it could be a lot of different things. You know, it's his first like full on fight and entrance and everything. So it's not gonna be perfect. He'll get it together, but if I had any critique, it would be slow down. And then at the end, he's doing his thing. Um, he just did it for a really long time. It felt like he did it for like 15 seconds. Uh, I would probably just not do that as long. But who am I? I thought that Oba coming out at the end of that fight was also really cool, just because I think that would be a fantastic rivalry. Oba Femi versus Jasper Troy, two huge guys, two big dudes, and I think that's what the WWE is missing as a whole. Just like the giants colliding, especially on main roster. Like there's like no big guys on the main roster. Like yeah, you have Drew and Damian. You got Bronson Reed. That's pretty much it. Like they're big, but it's like they don't have that giant feel to them. And so I think Oba versus Jasper will kind of bring that back. The only thing big about the main roster is honestly the women. The women are way more dominant than the men are right now. Like especially with Rhea and Nia Jax and Jade. Like they fight like bigger people, where the guys kind of feel they all feel kind of small right now. So I'm glad to see these guys going at it. And obviously, this won't be they won't be moving up to main roster anytime soon. But those are two guys that I could definitely see on the main roster within I mean, the next 2 years for sure. Now, to kind of wrap this up, this last match I am super pissed about. But I mean, I get it at the same time. But Stephanie Vaquer losing her title to JC Jane. Am I pissed that she lost? Yes and no. Yes, because she lost. You know what I mean? Like she's probably the best female in NXT, like number one or number two, right? She's definitely the best. So I'm not. Oh man, I'm pissed because if she was gonna lose the title, it should have been the Jordan Grace on Sunday. That match, if she would have went out on that match, I'd have been like, okay, I get it. Jordan did great. It was a fantastic match. Could have went either way, but to lose to JC Jane the way that she lost to JC Jane is kind of like I don't know. Like I just wish she went out. I wish she went out different. And maybe they just wanted to use Sunday for her last big match on NXT, and maybe she's gonna get caught up for the main roster. And I was kind of like her, hurrah! Like here's a great show for everybody. Goodbye. I'm see y'all on the main roster. If that's the case, awesome. But if we come back next week and she's still on NXT, I'm gonna be kind of pissed, honestly, because there's no reason she should have lost. And then she didn't even lose. It wasn't even a good fight. Like it was just, I don't like it. So anyway, I think that it's a potential. call up to the main roster. Obviously, we know that when she came into the WWE, they gave her the option to go main roster or NXT. She chose main roster first, changed her mind, and then ended up going to NXT just to learn the culture, learn the language, learn America as a whole, learn wrestling. And so, great decision on her part. And so maybe it's maybe it's just time for her to go up. And I get it. You can't take the belt with you, so she has to go out. And it also makes sense because they need to continue a story. And so I get it. I just wish that it was to Jordan Grace. Now, where I see Stephanie, in the main roster, hopefully is on Raw. And I'm hoping that we get to see Stephanie versus Liv Morgan. That would be ideal because we got a babyface, we got a heel. Liv is amazing at selling and can make Stephanie look fantastic. And then after that, I hope it goes straight into Stephanie versus Io, and we get to see that what we saw a few weeks ago, where like kind of like a foreshadow of her coming and winning the title um, off of Io, and I think that would be a really good 1, 2, 3 steps straight into her being a champion, and then being a champion for a while. Honestly, I mean, I know Rhea's there, but I think with Rhea at Money in the Bank, I think I'm hoping that Rhea takes the W at Money in the Bank and then goes to SmackDown. And that way it frees up and opens up some space for Stephanie and allows Stephanie to become the champion, stay the champion for a while until maybe Bianca comes back or something like that. But it throws Rhea to the other side where she can fight Charlotte or Jade or Tiffany Stratton or whoever she wants on that side. And so those are just my thoughts. Overall, I think the show was decent. A lot of title changes. Um, Disappointments. It was definitely an unpredictable night, that's for sure. Everything kind of went left instead of right. So overall, if I had to give the night a ranking out of 10, I would probably give it a smooth 6.5. Wasn't a bad show. Wasn't a good show. A lot of disappointments, but again, it was another night where the story progressed, and so that's always good. But those are just my thoughts. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.